The 1951 British Grand Prix was race 5 of 8 in the 1951 Formula 1 World Championship and was contested over 90 laps on the 14th of July 1951 at the Silverstone Circuit. The circuit had hosted the first World Championship race the previous season, but had been pushed to the 5th Grand Prix of the season for 1951. The lack of competitiveness from British teams meant that the race at Silverstone only attracted around 50,000 spectators for the race, about a third of the attendance compared to the previous year. Following the shared victory between Fangio and Fagioli in Reims, who had shared the same car after Fangio's Alfa Romeo hit troubles, the British Grand Prix organisers decided the shared cars would be banned for the race in Silverstone. Alongside the usual three entrants of Giuseppe Farina, Juan Manuel Fangio and Consalvo Sanesi, Alfa Romeo had decided to enter a fourth car for Luigi Fagioli. However, Fagioli didn't appreciate Alfa's decision to force him to hand his car over to Fangio at the previous race in Reims, and decided to quit. Fagioli's car was then given to Felice Bonetto to run the remaining races of the season for Alfa Romeo as a fourth car. Scuderia Ferrari were starting to look closer than ever before to rivals Alfa Romeo. Only the poor reliability of the 375 model had prevented Ascari from winning their first Grand Prix at Reims the previous race. Taruffi was still not ready to race due to illness, so José Roland González took his place. The British Racing Motors team, BRM, had launched their Type 15 car for the first time at a Grand Prix event. The car had competed in non-championship races before. However, it had proven unreliable and unable to keep up with the pace of the Alfa Romeos and Ferraris. Reg Parnell would represent the team alongside sports car racer Peter Walker. For the first time in the short history of Formula 1, it wasn't an Alfa to take pole position. Instead, it was González with Ferrari, a second faster than fellow Argentine Juan Manuel Fangio in Alfa Romeo, ahead of the other Alfa of Farina in P3. González's time was 2 seconds faster than his teammates Ascari and Villoresi. The remaining Alfas of Sanesi and Bonetto qualified 6th and 7th respectively. Whitehead was the first of the British drivers in 8th, driving a private Ferrari 375. At the start of the race, it was Bonetto, who had started P7, who got a tremendous start in his first race for Alfa Romeo, and took the lead from pole-sitter González, following in second, who managed to reclaim the lead a lap later. By lap 10, Fangio had got past Ascari, Farina, Bonetto and González, taking the lead of the Grand Prix. However, on lap 38, the Ferrari of González had caught and passed Fangio for the lead. Nearly a minute behind the two leaders, another Alfa-Ferrari duel took place between Farina and Ascari, battling out for the last spot on the podium, with Ascari setting the fastest lap of the race in his pursuit of the Alfa. For the first time, Ferrari really seemed to have the upper hand on the Alfa Romeo team. Moreover, a better fuel-saving strategy by the Prancing Horse cars meant that they only had to stop once for fuel, about 10 laps after the Alfa first pit stops, who had to stop twice for fuel. Unfortunately for Ascari, the chances of a podium finish vanished during his first pit stop on lap 56, when his gearbox got damaged and had to retire from the race. This result meant that the Italian driver was now pretty much out of contention for the title. It was Ascari's teammate González who took the win after 90 laps, the first win for himself and Scuderia Ferrari, ahead of fellow Argentine Fangio and the other Ferrari of Villoresi. Reg Parnell on BRM was the first non-Alfa or Ferrari finisher in 5th, 5 laps down on the race winner. This race result meant that Fangio was able to extend his lead in the championship on his teammate Farina, who had to retire from the race due to clutch issues, but still held second position overall, 2 points ahead of the Ferrari of Villoresi.